Yo guys, we got a low silver or high bronze game between Lunatic and Radotar. I bet they wedged themselves over 1000 MMR out of hopes that I wouldn't be casting them, but they cannot escape my notice so easily. They're just over my threshold, but for today, I'm making an exception. So, insofar as Bronze League Heroes goes, we should be seeing a significant overperformance here compared to our usual cast. They were pretty fast at making their altar. Radotar has gone for an altar into Ziggurat opening. This is a slow crypt opening that rushes out a hero, that goes crypt with the 5th acolyte. Then you make a 6th acolyte, which makes a shop in front of your necropolis, and your Death Knight runs out into the map with a Rod of Necromancy. That's what that opening is supposed to do. And now you know what it's supposed to do, you'll see what actually happens. Right now, no 6th acolyte is coming forth just yet, so he's probably just going to be relying on a normal acolyte from his gold mine to make. The reason that altar into Ziggurat, into crypt, is a less popular opening is because you get your extra ghouls quite slow, but you get your hero out the fastest. And because your hero comes out fast, he has the ability to do the potentially most effective harassment. And that's why when your altar finishes, you should immediately start your Death Knight. So that you can start harassing. Because if you are going to go Crypt Lord, which is what Radotar is actually doing, then you want more units because Crypt Lord is a creeping hero. Crypt Lord? More like Creep Lord, am I right? High five, guys. So it's going to be a Crypt Lord then. With 2 acolytes doing what? Wait, no. Oh, this is a graveyard. Oh, okay. All right. So it's Crypt Lords into, but this Tomb of Relics is way too slow. Yeah, this is total sandboxing. It's a complete creation of his own imagination. That's cool. Grubby, how old are you? Why do I feel like you're asking that because of my horrible pun that physically hurt? Meanwhile, Lunatic has gone for a Blade Master opening with a barracks and a war mill, and a second burrow and a shop, and a grunt, and then he's gonna maybe make headhunters. Maybe it's grunty to headhunters. Radotar is doing some Crypt Lord creeping with ghouls. Blade Master shows up. He's gonna find it. That's one ghoul kill. Bam! He's gonna attack the second ghoul. There's no death coil, and there's beetle, so that's gonna be a second ghoul death. I think he doesn't need to windwalk to kill this, and he doesn't. Double ghoul. That's huge. Beetle surround. He windwalks quite unnecessarily. As a harass hero against a person that is creeping, you need to be very conservative with your mana usage. The more you windwalk, the less nuance you have in harassing and disrupting. You don't need to deal much damage fast. He just used all of his mana to kill a single acolyte. But now Radotar is going to be able to deal with the threat more easily. Would have been better when the beetle surround happened to back off. Just remain, just linger, stay near. Because the moment you leave for mana, because you used too much mana, now the Crypt Lord can creep, and this is essentially unjustified creeping. This is what you should have prevented. That Acolyte skill, that kill on the Acolyte, not worth the 150 mana. This Crypt Lord should never have had the right to creep. He did not have the right, in fact. And now the Blade goes home because he figures, I want to help my grunt creeping, I need mana anyway. But if you leap back the cause and effect, the reason you even feel like going home is a good thing to do is because you don't have mana anymore. But he probably thinks, I've done some economy damage, I've killed an Acolyte. And he's not wrong. Lunatic did kill an Acolyte, and that is a good thing to do. But he could have done more just through creeping prevention. Among Blade and Crypt, Crypt Lord is more creeping dependent than the Blade. All the good early game heroes like Farseer and Blade that do a really good harass, they're less creeping dependent than creeping heroes like Crypt Lord or Mountain King. So you would be happy to both be level 1, generally. Nonetheless, the Blade still loves creeping. He does get a lot of power with that. I knew it. God, they really love unit upgrades. They really, really love unit upgrades. I just knew it, man. So that means that if bronze players were to watch like high level players, they would have a question in their mind like, how come they never get unit upgrades? Because it's always good, it makes your unit stronger, etc. And in their experience, you've always got money lying around anyway. So that makes the upgrade a no-brainer, because you cannot possibly spend all your money fast enough, right? Because they're constantly dealing with banks of 500 to 1,000 gold. So it's literally free real estate. Usually different for pros. So Radotar's got 4 ghouls. He's going for an expansion. Oh, okay, cool. He pulled an acolyte from the main base. Because I was like, hey, I don't remember him creating a 6th acolyte. But it's just a cheeky little tier 1.5 expansion.
A player's force
couldn't quite wait till tier 2. Has got that started earlier. It does cost him a bit of gold, but it's an investment. Do they not buy items from the shop? Yeah, they buy items from the shop. But they always have extra money lying around because they have more waiting periods where the hero stands and does nothing. They'll forget to make units during battle. Or maybe they don't know what they want to make next, so they delay the choice. Procrastination. Before you know it, 2,000 gold bank. So this is 1,000 MMR, not 800. And there's quite a big difference, actually. I think a 1,000 MMR player would beat an 800 MMR player 19 out of 20 times. From what I've seen. If there's no like MMR abuse going on. I've got the 5 acolytes coming. Cryptlord is level 3.5. Got some gloves of haste. Ring of protection plus 5. That item in particular is quite good. The ring of protection. Is it often better just to have more units than upgrades? Upgrades give 12% damage or effective health to a unit. About 12.5%. So 12.5% unit amount increase is like going from 10 to 12 units, right? Roughly. And so if you have like something like 5 units, another unit will generally do much more than an upgrade. But if you have like 7+ units, getting an upgrade is potentially able to better serve your needs than another unit. But more than that, units generally are just better than upgrades because they also occupy space on the battlefield until you get to like larger numbers, yeah. And a reason to get upgrades is because you want to stay under 50 population for a while, but you still want to get stronger. And the even more important than all the power levels I just talked about, if upgrades become a reason that you get something really crucial too slowly, then they were a bad thing to get. So for instance, if you got armor upgrade, but you now delayed your tier 2 tech, which then delays your shadow and your bestiary and your totem, and for some reason this guy also has a lodge, he's got one of all. If it delays any of that, then the armor upgrade wasn't worth it, no matter what value it gave you. First, you want to be the fastest possible to get your second hero, to get your key units that have key abilities like ensnare or heal, etc. Then, if you have money left over, then you can start making a decision between unit production and upgrades. So I think, oh, love it. Mass towers, love it. All right, this guy turtles up. I feel pretty good about Radotar. And I think, right, the way that Radotar is playing, even though there were some weird things about his opener, just the fact that he ninja sneaks in an expansion, heavily fortifies the expansion. I think these are really good habits at low level. They're not habits that will serve you well while climbing to Grandmaster or whatever, because this works less well at high level. But I absolutely think you should play to the level that you play at. And going for a hero like Cryptlord instead of the more finicky and vulnerable Death Knight or Lich, just power, you know, strong, heavily armored, summons, and then doing things like Ninja Expo with a lot of towers. I think that's far more effective. And the Orcish equivalent of Cryptlord and Expand and lots of towers would be Farseer TC with Chain Lightning Shockwave, and then lots of Grunts Raiders, an expansion with a bunch of towers. And then just getting like Raider Headhunter Kodo. No casters. I think most low-level players do not use Orcish casters very well at all. Just grunts, raiders, headhunter, kodo, wyvern. You can make a mixture of that army. You can also just do like 6 grunts, 2 raiders, a kodo, and then 10 berserkers. That kind of army. And if you're gonna add any caster, make sure it has autocast. So, shaman with Bloodlust. Yeah, more than half of the low-level players uses formation, Ixot. They don't know it's bad to use. And I mean, it's probably not gonna kill their gameplay, and it even has benefits for them. Yeah, so Berserker, Tauren, Bloodlust is a great all-around army. 1 kodo, Berserker, Tauren, Bloodlust. That's what I would recommend for a low-level army in the late game. So you start with grunts, then you add Raider Kodo, and then you switch to Berserkers and Taurens. If you go for that army, you can deal with anything, which will compensate for your weakness at scouting. I started playing Wyvern Bloodlust and I love it. Yeah, it's such a Pepika strat, but it's so effective. So he's got 1/1 upgrades. Pillage, I believe, is ready. He has a Spirit Walker, but didn't link yet. There we go. Nice. Spirit Link. These grunts need to be ordered to attack another tower. There we go. No, you almost had it! You almost had it! All that effort for nothing. He was literally almost breaking through, and then he's like, this is boring. A shaman as well. But is he gonna use it? Purge? Okay, disenchants, there we go. That's about the value I expected to get from the shaman. He is tier 3 though, and he's gonna get Bloodlust. The walkers are so weak straight up, and he's not microing them into ethereal form. Oh. You can get extra DPS by windwalking your blade and attacking. Yeah, he just lost everything. So Orc is very, very reliant on Shadow 3 to get effective and efficient healing. He used all of his mana at level 2, lost all of his units right before Bloodlust finished. So people have asked me before, what is a timing attack? And what is the opposite of a timing attack? Well, this is it. Right before Bloodlust finishes, to sacrifice all of your units in a fight. First on towers and then units. Yeah, Boneyard. We got 3,000 gold on Radotar. He's spending half of it. Well, not half. He's spending a bit of it on Boneyards. Yeah, I like a lot how Radotar played this. You see how effective it is. Imagine if he decided to do like the pros do. 1 Necropolis and 1 Nerubian. He would have lost Nerubian and all his acolytes. But because he has this, opponent doesn't really scout, sees it, short circuits, attacks it, realizes he can't get through, takes the follow-up fight. Very good. And now you just turtle and you go for Frost Wyrms. He could probably do with some more ghouls. They don't have frenzy, so they don't travel as fast. 4 ghouls on 2 base with double Boneyard. It's hard to support that kind of lumber. This camp is a little hard for you. Not impossible. And he's only got 2 units surface area. 3 on the granite. Bloodlust will help though. I don't think there's an item that would save him here. That would actually help him win this game. I think the Frost Wyrms are going to be too much. And it's interesting to me that he detected an expansion, but does not counter-expand. Nor does he build the tempo of his army to deal with it. Like, it's not going to be a system. Oh, okay, he did. But this is a 6 on distance expo. Wow, Radotar immediately went for it. Maybe he had a Beetle Scout and I didn't see it. Instant cancel. So if you are tier 3, you should only ever expand with Tiny Great Hole instead of slow. That way it'll pay off earlier. He's also making a Tauren, which, as far as what he has seen, Tauren actually makes sense now. And I Nice target fire by Radotar. Definitely better at micro than Lunatic. I feel like Radotar overall is a much more complete player, right? Expanding, correct strategy, a little off-meta hero, it's a bit quirky. Uses his spells more. Target firing. It's good fights by Radotar. They have the same MMR, but it doesn't look the same. Oh, that was a good info. Bruce Lee Rob says, hey guys, how come I can't queue a match on Warcraft 3 Champions? There is a Warcraft 3 Champions Discord where they may be specialists in this. It works for most of us, so we wouldn't know what your problem is. Grubby, for starters, when I have zero experience in PvP playing Undead, what should I do? I would recommend to try and make your own build order or to copy one. For build orders are essentially how to use this power drill before using a power drill. Of course, you can't just start drilling, click buttons, see which parts spin, which parts to put in wire. But generally, if you're going to use a power drill for the first time, you've got a manual, it's going to tell you how to use it. That's basically what a build order is. Of course, first you've got, how do I actually control a game? Box select. How do I box select? Hold down left and then drag your mouse. Then press Ctrl 1. Now it's in group 1. Press 1 to refer to it. That's like the ultra basic engine understanding of Warcraft. A build order means making your buildings in the correct order. And so you may of course wonder, why do I have to build things in the correct order? Can't you just get a bit of everything? And it is true you can, but let's say one guy makes his altar at the start of the game and then makes a hero, and you happen to make it after 4 minutes because you're just sandboxing. You see all these buildings, you see a war mill, you think, oh, war mill, extra lumber, that seems good. Let's get some upgrades, then let's do an altar. You'll find that the guy that made his altar first has a hero and he can start creeping, and now he's got a level 3 hero and you're level 1. So I'm not saying you have to follow the meta. There's variations, but I am saying there's a difference in efficiency for build order. So what you see at this 1000 MMR bronze level, this lunatic, the way he started the game, he did Altar Burrow Barracks, but when his barracks finished, he had 90 gold. And the cheapest unit you can make is 135. So his barracks finished, but he doesn't have gold. So that's not a good build order. It's like mathematics, right? There's a certain order to things. When a good player makes his barracks, when it finishes, he has exactly 200 gold to make 1 grunt. When a good player's tier 2 building finish, the stronghold, he will immediately make Bestiary. And when Bestiary finish, he will make a unit. That's what I'm talking about. So you can practice that against the computer. As an undead or as anything. Yeah, Radotar did a great job here. Lots of Frost Wyrms, I love it. Shadow Hunter just getting impaled and coiled and dies. DK getting focused. We see a little bit of hero focus from Lunatic. He's getting some good damage on the DK, but there's the slow from the Frost Wyrm and the impale on a blindly on an invisible blade. He might still kill the DK though. He still kills the Death Knight. My god, what a chat against 5 Frost Wyrms and a Crypt Lord. But now he's gonna die. Impale, target firing, boom. Level 6 Crypt Lord, Mana Pot, Locust Swarm, let's go. Ah, leave already. GG, well played by Radotar. A nice game.